All right, want to talk to you for just a few minutes this morning. It is beautiful Saturday morning here in Northeast Georgia. A little bit cool, got to have a jacket on. It's going to warm up nicely though. Look at that wild lettuce. Look at how beautiful that is. Yummy. I just ate a piece, about a half of a leaf. Anyway, I want to talk to you for a few minutes about the importance of growing perennial vegetables, herbs, of course, fruit trees, and wild edibles on your land, whether it be where you live right now, your full time place, your retreat property, stuff hit the fan location, grandma's farm, whatever the case may be. Getting these things established is so important. Uh, I've got another video that goes into detail on this. I talk a lot about it and list a lot of wild edibles and perennial herbs and vegetables that can be grown and pretty much just left alone. Not totally left alone. You may have to tend to them once or twice a year, but just letting them flourish, especially those wild edibles. You don't have to touch them, they just flourish and reproduce, and some of them will even take over an area. But it's important that we get these things established to have a wild, somewhat of a permaculture garden, a food forest, or whatever you want to call it. It's important that we do this. You never know when stuff's going to hit the fan. You may lose your job. You may go through a recession. And it would be nice to have an addition to the dinner table that you don't even have to worry about, that is flourishing and growing, and you don't even have to tend to it. Let's say your retreat property is 2 hours away from your home. Stuff hits the fan, whatever the case may be. You've got to travel from where you live now to your retreat property. You can't take a bunch of food with you. Doesn't matter. Stuff is already flourishing up there. It'll get you by for a while. Huh? Anyway, check out that other video if you want, or just get on the internet, man. It's just full of that info. So, anyway, this is some leeks. Here, there's there's 3 or 4 of them here. Now, we threw these out 5 years ago or whatever. I don't know what happened. Anyway, they popped up 5, 6 years ago. I noticed them. And they've been here ever since, just one. And it drops its seeds, or however this thing reproduces. I believe it just drops its seeds, and more pop up. And it's been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years. It's crazy. So leeks. And so I leave it here just to see what it would do. So leeks are another good perennial. Plant them on your property. Plant them all over your property. And let them flourish. I mean, can you imagine being in a stuff hit the fan situation and you get to your retreat property, you're wore out, you're hungry, and you make a pot of leek soup with other stuff added, of course. You know how awesome that would be. Anyway, think about that. Get out there and start doing it. It is so important that we do stuff like this. So important. I see stuff like this, it excites me. When I see that food can just grow on its own with nobody having to tend to it, it excites me for some reason. Anyway, that's it. Hey, if you've ever been really poor and have went without, really poor and have went without food, then stuff like this will excite you. Just knowing that you have access to food at just any time, and you don't need the green stuff to get it. Anyway, we'll see you.